Good
Hi,
evening,
guys.
Freddie. How is it? How is it in Freddie Abraham land?
Oh, what a fantastic result, guys. All I've got to say is E-I-E-I-E-I-O. Absolutely fantastic.
Football league we go. Freddie, I'm waiting for others to come in as well, but just give us, first of all, your initial reaction to that game. It just, from the off, Blackpool were at it, weren't they? It got a bit hairy, scary towards the end, but Blackpool were in control, I thought. Just that stupid,
absolutely fantastic.
Goal.
Absolutely fantastically. I think we started. We started off extremely well. What appeared to me is that the extra man we had in midfield is really, really helping us, and Peterborough just couldn't handle the extra man that we had in midfield. I thought they were rocky at the back. According to Ben Burgess, who was doing the commentary tonight, he said that the back four was actually the same back four that conceded 3 goals to the Rochdale in the previous game. I don't know why they haven't changed it, and it's obviously worked in our favour. It's absolutely fantastic tonight, and I couldn't have asked for a better result.
Yeah, I mean, a great start. We couldn't have had a better start to a game if we'd have tried our first real serious attack on 1 minute. Jerry Yates actually seemed to be tripping over, and then he just sort of regained his balance, and he just hit an absolute worldie right in the bottom corner, didn't he? Keeper didn't have a sniff on it, and you're not going to get a better start to a game than that, Freddie. What do you think of that first goal?
No, you're not. I don't. You also got to take into consideration the fantastic play from Kai too. If it wasn't for Kai, Kai passed the ball over to Yates, and Yates took his goal extremely well.
He did.
Good evening, Phil. How are you doing, pal?
Good evening, Phil. We're just talking about. I mean, we're buzzing here. I hope you're buzzing in Yorkshire. The Yorkshire Seasiders are in the house. Just give us. We were just talking about a fantastic start, a dream start for Blackpool. Really, a first serious attack of the game from Blackpool. A great ball through from Kai, I think it was, to Yates, who looked like he was going to trip over, regain his balance, and just managed to just hit a worldie in the bottom right corner. Keeper didn't have a chance. No. What were you thinking there, Phil, when that went in?
I thought they'd started, I mean, for the 30 seconds before that, they'd actually started exactly like they finished at Oxford. They were on the front foot, really pressing, and it was great to see, and it really set the tone. And then to get a goal was just absolute bonus, but great finish. And Kai had lost it on the left-hand side, and then won it back. Played in a great ball.
Yeah, because we were like that for a long time in the game. We were like little terriers, weren't we? Picking him up. Just got a few comments here. Crazy Football Vlogs is saying playoffs, here we come, and with games in hand, I think we can finish in 5th. I think we can finish higher than 5th. If I'm being honest, I think we'll go higher than that. Paul Lupton is here. He says, fantastic, given the injuries, the pressure, the number of games, and tightness of the chasing pack, plus Peterborough's form. That is a tremendous result. Absolutely superb. I think we'd all agree.
Yeah,
with that.
definitely. Yeah. What I put on the Twitter league during the game second half was that if it wasn't for the start that Blackpool had, I don't see a reason why we couldn't win this division this season. We are absolutely fantastic, and we're only getting better and better.
Yeah, just for that poor start, and it was a bit of an unlucky start. We maybe go back to that, but we lost away at Plymouth on the opening game of the season, and we didn't deserve to. We didn't deserve to lose to Gillingham. I don't know what happened at Doncaster Rovers. I still can't quite get over that. We got 2 sent off against AFC Wimbledon and nearly beat them with 9 men. So, there's just some weird decisions have gone against us. But yeah, we should really be, we could be top of the league if we'd have had a bit more luck through the season.
Yeah, 100%.
Then there was, looking back at the game, there was some contentious decisions. The goalkeeper handles the ball outside of the area and no red card. People are saying that the rules have changed and it's down to the referee's discretion. Didn't even get a booking for it, which I find, I don't even understand that. If you handle outside the ball, surely it's at least a yellow card, if not a red.
Yeah, yellow minimum. And
surely.
You can follow that up with handball on the line to stop a goal. And that's a yellow. So he's one behind on both counts for me. Yeah, it's the yellow for the keeper and possibly a sending off for the handball or for the penalty.
Yeah,
definitely. I even thought to myself that he's got to go. He has to go. He's handled the ball outside the box, and they're not even to get a yellow card. I'm like, referee, what are you doing? What are you doing, ref?
You can understand it if he like slides out of an area and it's unintentional, but you know, he snatched it away from Mitchell.
Yeah.
It was a deliberate handball.
Yeah, deliver it on ball. It should have been sent off. I mean, I was going back. I think it was against Birmingham City where Barnes handled outside the area right in about the first minute and got sent off.
And Gareth Evans went in.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's but yeah, somebody says James Elsie says, yeah, I'm buzzing. Professional performance all over the pitch. We're into sixth. Get in. Well, yeah. Is this a psychological? Would you say this is a big psychological boost for Blackpool? Because for the first time in this season, I mean, we've been stuck around 12th, 14th for weeks and weeks, always looking, thinking if we can win the games in hand, blah blah blah, we'll be at this position, and it's all been a sort of a dream to get into the playoffs. Now we're in them. We're for the first time this season, we're in them, and we've got Plymouth to play on Saturday, and we owe them one. So, do you think it's a big psychological boost for the team this, and to do it without?
I do. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I think as well, it's just the philosophy of the football. Tonight, we're seeing changes around the pitch and players playing in different positions compared to the last game, and. Because of that philosophy, players are just coming in, stepping in, and it's not really making much of a difference. Tonight, going off anything, we got better.
Yeah, we did. It was a bit shaky at the end. I must admit, the last 10 minutes I was getting a bit because we were just not really, we were under pressure, but they were pushing us. They were really pushing at us. One of the things that a few people mentioned on our stream, and that was the fact that Gretson was on the bench and he put Luke Turton in centre half, and unfortunately you could probably blame him for their goal right on half time, couldn't you? Which I don't want to put blame on somebody, because I could probably say something before that, and which I've forgotten about, which is Kai's slip, which was just you're just thinking, what is going on here? You know what I mean? He's got a clear chance, he's free, all in the box on his own, and just as he's getting near the ball, he just slipped over, didn't he? Completely just, I don't know whether the pitch was too wet.
Got to blame the sprinklers.
Yeah, blame the sprinklers, because there was quite a few chances in that first half to go. I think we could have been 2 or 3 up by half time, to be honest.
We should have been, and I think it's a sign of the character of the team, though, that we went in at 1-1, which was completely against the run of play, but we came out and we were right in the faces again and got it back within 5 minutes. We were back in the lead, and after that, I didn't think we were ever going to lose. No. From there, it was great.
We were saying at half time, in the half time chat, that will that give Peterborough a lift, and will they come out, flying and, really in form? And you always fear that, don't you? That's going to lift them and knock us down. But you're absolutely right, Phil. I couldn't agree more. We were bang at them again, weren't we? We set off in the second half like we set off in the first time. I think we've learned a system, or I think. I didn't mention this the other day, that I think something happened at half time at Burton Albion. I don't know whether a penny dropped or the player said something or something was said by Critchley, but they changed it at half time at Burton Albion, and it worked a treat. He took Ellis Sims off, decided to stop playing this game with Medine not being there and trying to fill in Medine, and we went to this 4-2-3-1. And since that half time at Burton Albion, we've been magnificent. You've got to say those are 5 of the best hours of football that we've played in.
Yeah, we've definitely stepped up a different level. We've definitely stepped up to the next level. One thing that I've been really, really impressively is the performance of Embleton. He's come in and he's linking play up extremely well. He's bringing others into play, and he's just been a sensation. It's honestly, I don't understand why Sunderland loaned him to us. I don't get it. He's a fantastic player.
Yes, but the only trouble is he probably won't be able to play against Sunderland, will he? That's the only problem there. And we've got them to play twice. So maybe that's why they lent him to us, knowing that if we start using him, we can't use him when they play against us. You think that might have been a tactic to kind of give us somebody that we're going to start relying on, and then not be allowed to play him. There's all that sort of shenanigan goes on in it. But on the other side of the coin to that, there was a lot of Sunderland fans in our stream tonight, and there was a lot of Lincoln fans in our stream tonight, and they were all like cheering Blackpool on. But I don't think other teams are still taking us seriously. I think they're seeing Peterborough as the one to lose, but really, Blackpool are going to be a surprise. They're going to be surprised by us. I think we're going to surprise a few teams.
Well, tonight's the first time that the games in hand have actually unwound a bit, and we've actually got a game back on some of these teams. And the fact that we then go on and win it against the team who were second, that sets down a real marker. The division must take notice of that.
it does set down a marker, doesn't it? It really does. What do you think?
Yeah, the best thing about Blackpool, though, guys, is that we always do really well as the dark horse. I prefer to be the underdog, be the quiet guys, and at the end, that's when we can turn around and say, we're not actually quiet guys, and we've done extremely well this season.
Yeah, there is actually a little fear in my mind that we're actually not going to be the dark horses soon, because we could theoretically get up to third, second or third if things keep going our way, and then we won't be the dark horses anymore. And then the pressure comes on then, where we've got to, where you have that thing where you don't want to fall back into the playoffs if we can get, because teams have still got to play each other. Yeah, there's other teams have got to play each other. It's opening up very, very well. So first half, would you say it was a fantastic half, wasn't it? I know they got an equaliser right on half time. Do you think the long substitution just knocked us off our play a little bit similar to it did when, who was it, where they had where the linesman got the injury?
That's right.
And it just put us all off our play, didn't it? And we ended up drawing, didn't we, at home? Which game? I can't remember. Was that was that AFC Wimbledon where the linesman got injured, or I can't remember which game it was now.
Yeah, I think it was AFC Wimbledon. Yeah, I think it was that one.
Yeah. Do you think that kind of just made us lose a bit of concentration? That's why we let that equaliser in on half time. I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because we now know the final score, but half time I was really upset that we'd let one in.
I think we started playing for half time rather than carrying on trying to kill the game. Which we'd done right up to that point. We'd been really in the faces and really attacking them for the full half, and stuff didn't quite fall for us. But then we'll take a 3-1 win against Peterborough any day of the week.
Yeah, definitely. I just think it's unfortunately for Jordan Thornley, he slips, and it's just one of them things. I think the big question mark, looking at the starting lineup today, was Gretson coming on only on the bench and starting at the back with Thornley and Turton. But they've really impressed me today. Obviously, we know that Turton likes to make a tackle. He made some excellent tackles today against a piece of strikers. And for me as well, I've openly admitted previously that I've never really been a big fan of Jordan Thornley. But tonight, I thought he was fantastic. I thought, apart from obviously the mistake he made for the Peterborough goal, I thought he was sound at the back. And what I was really impressed with as well is his diagonal balls out to Mitchell. I thought he was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's not hoofball, is it? It's absolutely pinging it to feet.
He's putting on a plate for Mitchell.
Yeah,
who had a good game today again, Mitchell. I thought another fantastic game for him. He did nothing wrong at all. Mark Chamberlain says we're 10 points off automatic with 2 games in hand. That's where we are, folks. We're closing in, aren't we? We really are. It's quite scary. Finally turned the home form round. And I was saying this a few weeks back, people were complaining, and I said Fleetwood had a similar thing last year where they couldn't, we were having a really bad run and they were having a bad run, but they were getting points and we weren't. And although we weren't, picking wins up at home, we still kept getting the points. And as long as you're not losing, once the form comes back in, those points become quite valuable, because you're never going to get, a run where you just win every game. You could do, but very rarely do you win every single game that you play. But I think now we've won one at home. That's that little thing off our back, isn't it? That's and we've got another home game as well. So I think they should be really confident for Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what I've been really impressed with is that the fact that we haven't. There's been games where we haven't been on our on top of our form, such as Crewe, Wimbledon, and Fleetwood. But we can still work as a team, and we can still grind out results. Yeah, it's only a point compared to the 3 that we wanted. But with them not playing well, we could have had a loss in the end of the day. But because we've come together, we've managed to grind a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
That top 2 which I haven't written off yet, we've had 4 points against one of them, 6 points against the other. So we're a match with the top teams. We do tend to fall down against the teams we're expected to win, which is why I'm probably more worried about Saturday than I was tonight, because I can see them setting up to keep it tight, and that sometimes doesn't suit us.
It doesn't, but I don't think there's just something about this new system that we're playing, this 4-2-3-1, that just looks the best we've played. It seems to suit us down to the ground, and I think it is suiting us down to the ground, because the 4-4-2 suited us when Gary Medine was in the team, because we played that kind of 4-4-2 football. But without him, I think this 4-2-3-1 has changed everything, and I just hope they keep sticking with it. I still would have preferred, hopefully, Gretterson to come in as a proper centre half. No,
it's an interesting one, that, isn't
I would have
it?
probably had Gretterson as centre half, and I'd have Luke Turton as left back and Gabriel as the right winger. And that's the way I probably would have preferred it to go. But I can't complain, to be honest. Tonight, I thought they were fantastic. To a man, they were fantastic.
In Critchley we trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, Ben Burgess mentioned if Gretterson had come in, we'd have had 3 left footers in the back. So maybe he wanted that right-left balance, and that's why he put Turton into the right side of centre half.
Right. Okay. Maybe that. The referee first. Should we just briefly want to touch on the referee, because he kind of didn't give us a red card, and he could have maybe given a couple of red cards. And there was a few things where he didn't give a foul on Kai, and then he let it run on, and then Kenny
Won the
Doogle
ball.
got booked, didn't he?
Yeah.
So there was times when he wasn't really on our side, but I actually thought he was a pretty much a decent referee for us. I would even say he was actually favoured Blackpool more than them at times. So I don't know what you thought about the referee tonight. Did you think he was bad or good?
Do you want to go, Phil, first? Do you want to go first, Phil?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, I thought he was a bit. It came to the key decisions on their penalty shouts, neither of which I thought were, but he was under a lot of pressure there, especially when you get another one within like 60 seconds of the previous one. It's very easy to give those, but he didn't give them. And, Ferguson wasn't happy by all accounts. Got a yellow card for it.
He actually booked him as well, didn't he? He gave him didn't he, as well? I was saying in my stream that I was at a kids match with Sebi, who was about 14, and we're playing at Squires Gate, and one of the parents got sent off, and she had to go out of the stadium. She got sent off. He got a red card for shouting out because he knew all the players' names of the other team that were winning. He knew them by names. Happy, and he sent her off. So normally they send him into the stands, don't they?
Yeah.
Normally go into the stands, but anyway, he just got a yellow card, so he's all right on that one. Second half, just talking about the second half, we came out on fire, got a goal, great goal. Did you think it was good? Do you think it was a definite penalty? It all came from like chasing the goalie down. The goalie punched it out, and he was running out. We got to it first and managed to get a shot in, and then handball. Do you think that was a penalty?
He had his arm slightly out. I thought it was a penalty. Yeah. I was shouting at the telly for it, so that's good enough for me.
Freddy,
I thought it was fantastic balling from Garbett. I think it was it a corner? And their defenders handled it, and it was a penalty all day long for me. And I think Yates stepped up and took it fantastically well. Keeper dived to his left, and Yates put the ball in the right hand corner.
He did, yeah. He just slid it in, didn't he?
All left, keeper's right.
Yeah. So any keeper that probably been watching videos of Yates' penalty, he normally smashes them, doesn't he? But he didn't this time. So he's a pretty cool customer, isn't he, Jerry Yates? He's a striker. I'm really, really, really starting to kind of fall in love with. If I'm being honest,
16 goals now this season.
Very special, isn't he? He just has all the tricks. He does things different ways. He's just not good on his left foot. He had a chance in the first half, didn't he? That fell to his left, and he put it slightly wide.
Just touching upon Jerry Yates as well. When he steps up for his penalty, you're just confident. You know that he's gonna hit the back of the target.
Yeah, I'm usually a bag of nerves. And I went about 10 years at Bloomfield Road, turning my back on penalties. I couldn't watch because I was that nervous about them. But
we've got better at penalties.
Confident he's going to put them away. Yeah,
absolutely. And I was the same in Angelo, to be honest, and also the same. Over the last, since we've been back, I've always been confident of penalties, and apart from penalty shootouts, which we're not always very good at for some odd reason. Terry Payne is saying, who is your man of the match? I was going to save it, but we can do it now, or we can talk about the wonderful third goal. Should we talk about that first before we do man?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I was short corner. No, just say no to short corners, and then he just cuts in and whacks it. Great goal.
Yeah, wasn't it just an incredible goal? It was a dream.
It's absolutely fantastic.
I mean, and you could see it. You could see it were going in the minute he hit it. It's one of them where the minute they hit it, you know that keeper's never going to get to that ball. You can see it's arrowing right into like the far side netting, isn't it? You know, it's out of reach of the goalkeeper. He's no chance. It was just going in. It was like a missile. I'd love to. You know, could you imagine being in the North Stand behind that?
The Blackpool row would have been bouncing tonight. Bouncing.
Absolutely.
Can't even plumbing start to think about that.
Yeah, Garbett's goal was fantastic. I just like Phil. When he took the short corner, I was pulling my hair out if I had any. Thinking, why are you taking these short corners? They don't work. And then the 1-2 that I'm not too sure. I can't remember who Garbett did the 1-2 with. But then he got it from the edge of the box and just put it in. What a fantastic goal! And it's to add to his goal that he scored last week as well. He's a solid, reliable player.
It crosses my mind that they did it because Peterborough never really closed down outside the area, did they? So maybe they knew they weren't going to close down, and so that's why they took one, because we don't usually take short corners, do we?
No, there's a thing I've noticed. You know, when they're interviewing Critch, I don't know if you watched the interview yesterday they did with him. You know, the pre-match today, and there's always a little sort of a twinkle in Critchley's eye that I think he's had him watched, and he has an idea on how he can beat these. I always think he looks. You can sort of see. I think it's a tell. You know, they're saying like poker. There's a tell, and there's just something about Critchley where you think. I was watching it. I'm thinking, he figures he's going to win this, Critch. He's got him. He's got him. He knows how to beat him, and I think he does. honestly, I can't say it enough, and I keep saying it. Neil Critchley is a fantastic manager, and he's getting better and better and better. And the fact that he's improving so much coming to the end of the season, and he's learned so much this season, that I think we've got a great chance. I don't know about you guys, but what do you think of Critch? Come on, honestly.
I think he started off. So I was going to say, I think he started off very slow. Made a few mistakes early on in the beginning of the season, but as the season's got on and on and on, he's learned and he's just doing superbly well now. I think it was a massive stroke bringing Colin Calderwood in to work with the defence. Critch has also spoke openly about how Calderwood advises him, gives him an opinion from like outside the box, if you will, and Critch is only getting better and better.
I think he's a new manager. He's going to take time to find his feet, especially when we had a 6-month break where nothing was happening. You know, he wouldn't have been coaching the players in that time. It's now starting to bear fruit. You know, you can tell they're well organized. Well, they've got a shape. They know what they're doing. And it's a good team shape from the back right to the front, and defending all the way through as well. So they're really harrying. I was really surprised they could keep up the pace for another 90 minutes after the pace they put in on Tuesday night, to be honest.
Yeah,
so
this is a good point, Phil. That's the only thing that's going to hamper us, isn't it? If we just can't keep this physical performance up game after game after game. And if we get any more injuries, I don't know where we're at with bringing players in. Some people in my stream were saying, where's Bez? Where is Bez Labar? He doesn't seem to even be featuring, does he? And I thought he'd be wanted definitely by now, be coming onto the bench, because we have on the bench tonight, we had Apter, we had that Brad Holmes on the bench, didn't we? We had Gretterson on the bench, the goalkeeper on the bench, the substitute. Yeah, we've not seen him yet, have we? Who do we have on the bench? We had Ethan Robson was on, Cam Antwi was on, Rob Apter, Ellis Sims, Brad Holmes, but no sign of Labala, which I find strange, really. I thought he would have been one that would be coming back into contention. Do you like Labala? I like him.
Yeah, I think he's a good player. He's young. He's not done it at League One level before, but he's got a lot of potential. And he actually came in after Christmas and played, really well. And it's just such a shame to see him dropped. There was something on Twitter a few days ago, a bit of an unreliable source, but apparently it went on that saying that Labala's got a really bad attitude and that's the reason he's not playing. I don't know if I believe it. I'd say it's an unreliable source, but you never know.
No, you never know. There's obviously
you could say the same about Mitchell, though. He was out of the team for a long, long time, and now he's back in and he's performing. It might be that Labala will come in towards the back end of the season. And when you're saying we need fresh players, we've got all these injured players who are going to be fit sooner rather than later, and then we can rotate. And as we've seen, bringing players in, it doesn't seem to make any difference to the way we play.
No, it doesn't. They're obviously very well coached. We're obviously seeing the fruits of the coaching that's going on, because we knew, didn't we? The minute that Liverpool fans were going mental, basically, because they weren't happy. Liverpool fans were not happy that Critch had come to us. There was a lot of murmurings. We've been on Liverpool sites and they were really upset to lose him, because he was very highly rated at Liverpool, very well liked within Liverpool, and he has the coaching badges of one of the top 5 coaches in the world. And I think we're seeing the fruits of this coming through on the pitch, like you say, where it doesn't seem to matter who we bring in. They all know how to just slot in, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you think this is really, a lot of people, I've mentioned it a few times, have called him a tinker man, but is the fact that he's a tinker man and he's been giving players opportunities, we're starting to see now why? It's all starting to make sense. Does it make sense to you, Phil?
Yeah, the days of the same 11 week in, week out, with the modern pitches where and the speed of the game, you can't keep the same 11 every week. Occasionally you can, but not week in, week out. And it's paying off for us. There's a squad of players who can all do a job.
Yeah. Freddie, would you say the same? Would you agree with that? Is this what Critch has been doing throughout the season, training them all into, to be able to put players in positions and they just know what to do? Do you think we're starting to see the sort of the brilliance that goes on behind the scenes with Critch?
Yeah, definitely. I think Critchley's brought a philosophy into Blackpool Football Club that can only benefit us. As I said before, it doesn't matter who plays in what position. We do suited really well. I guess from an opposition perspective as well, not playing that same 11 each week, it's hard to tell, who's going to be playing and how to deal with us as our playing side.
Peter Donnelly saying we won't finish 6, we'll finish top 2.
Fingers crossed.
Stephen Holt is here. He says we shouldn't fear anyone. Played really well. If anything, teams at the top will be looking over their shoulders, fearing us. I think they kind of will. I think that's a massive, big statement over the 2 games, beating Oxford, who were also a team that I was a bit worried about, and now beating Peterborough. Not just beating Peterborough luckily or jammily or them giving away something. I mean, we literally for 80 minutes of that game bossed that game. I think Blackpool bossed it for 80 minutes. It was just a nervy last 10 minutes.
Yeah. And is that us being nervous rather than the team? I'm not sure they were that nervous. They did have spells where they were knocking it about up by the edge of their area for a while. So, but Blackpool fans with a history of throwing away leads like that. So not surprised.
We always have this little fear in Blackpool that that we can let one in and it can all go to pieces. But I think this is a better team. I think this is a better team than we've had for a long time, to be honest. I think this is better than last year's team. What do you think of that? Do you think this is a better team than last year's team?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, definitely. I think beginning of the season, a lot of people were upset that Nanjale left, but Yates has come in. He's been fantastic, and for me, his all-round play is a lot better than Nanjale, to be fair.
Yeah, he's it's his defensive work as well, isn't it? Nanjale didn't throw himself around the pitch, closing down all the time.
No, he didn't. In fact,
he had Feeney creating them for him. So
Nanjale was a lazy player, wasn't he? Really. he was a glory player. I remember
Yeah.
talking to Eamon O'Keefe on the phone after one game, and he'd watched it. And I said, what do you think? And he just basically said, if I was playing with that Nangele, I'd have him up against the wall in the dressing room, and he really would. He said, because he just wanted everybody to do the work for him. But he was a lethal weapon at the same time, wasn't he? So Josh McNamara says he's a Peterborough United fan. He says, fair play, lads, completely outplayed us. Good luck for the rest of the season. So there you are. Even the Peterborough United fans are basically saying we did outplay them, and we did. We really did.
One thing I'd like to touch upon is for Peterborough, who are a top 2 team, I just couldn't believe how poor their back line was. It's just really, really poor. I know at one point as well, they swapped players because they couldn't. Their right back couldn't deal with Kaikai's play.
Yeah. He was just burning him every time, wasn't it, Kaikai? Yeah.
Forever Football PUFC though is saying, Tangerine Army, we might have been awful, but you weren't the greatest. We ran around a lot, and that was it. Yates' championship. What game he was watching? We just ran around a lot. Yeah. Okay.
Part of the game.
Yeah, we just ran around a lot, like headless chickens. Is that? I think he's meaning, but.
Well, if running around every game gets us a 3-1 result against a top 2 team, then let's run around every single game, eh?
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that was Peterborough's problem. They didn't run around enough.
Yeah, they didn't. Michael Hayes says Critchley has a real cool head on his shoulders and is turning out to be the coach we all thought he would by bringing Calderwood in. Was a masterstroke. Peter, Phil, you might be better just getting your head a bit closer, because every time I put these things on, I'm covering up your face. So if you just get that,
I'm sure nobody's bothered by that.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be rude and keep covering you up so people can't see. That's it. Yeah, just be above that line, so I can put these comments on. Because this one will be quite a big one. Here we go. We see the metal for the team is now. We're in the photo frame. How well we handle it. Yes, it would be good to know how many players will be back when. We have one back on the bench, but we desperately need others back ASAP. 2 games a week will go on until the end of the season. This is it, innit? Are these players going to come back? Surely they must do. I thought Marvin Epiteta looked quite fit in his interview when he had his interview with I don't know if you watched the preview show, which is a good show, isn't it? I like the preview show, but he looked like he might be getting closer to training and stuff, so he might be coming back in. Gretson obviously back, which is a boost, especially with Ballard. Is Ballard going to miss 3 games? Have they said? Will he miss 3 games? Will he miss the next 2? Ballard? He's going to miss Saturday, isn't he?
He'll miss Saturday. I'm not sure because there are midweek games this week for internationals, aren't there? So I presumed he'd be back after Saturday, but
I hope he is.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Isn't he?
Yeah, for what I've read, there's a game for Northern Ireland on Friday, and if he's not going to play that game on Friday, then he will be available for selection this coming Saturday.
All right.
Oh, that's a blooming heck. God, let's hope he don't get selected.
Yeah, if you're the Northern Ireland manager, please don't select him. We need him for Saturday.
And of course, we'll be playing Friday next week, won't we? We're not actually playing next Tuesday for the first time in I don't know how long.
Oh, right. Okay. So he may well be back by Friday anyway. He may just miss Saturday. But if Gretton's there, Brian Thompson has a great double against Posh, but put 6 on them and take 6 off us. 2 massive games for us and for them. And indeed, it is a massive 6 points. I said that before the game, and it's been a massive 6-pointer, as they say tonight, hasn't it? Obviously, we're all feeling happy. Should we go through the players and do our out of 10s, I think, now? And you can also post in the comments as well your out of 10s. We're going to start with Chris Maxwell, out of 10 tonight. I'll go to Phil first. What do you think on Maxwell?
I'm genuinely struggling to think of a save he had to make. But having said that, he bossed his area well when he needed to. He came out and caught a lot. So I'll give him a 7.5, I think.
Okay.
Purely Freddie? Because I don't recall him making that many saves.
No. Freddie?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of when he made a save. I think he made 1 or 2.
He had some saves, but they were kind of right at him, and he was in the right place, as he always is, and they were kind of powder puff shots, weren't they? They just come in. there was nothing he spilled. There was nothing he did wrong. Like I say, we just defended very, very, very well, didn't we? So what's your out of 10 on
Yeah,
him?
I'm going to go with Phil. I'm going to sit on the safe side and say 7.5.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to give him as well, because he didn't have a lot to do, did he really? But what he did, he did well. It's great. Jordan Gabriel, I thought he had a superb game, and when that young quick winger came on for them, the young lad at the end who had bags of pace, he struggled to get past him, didn't he? Because he is a very pacey winger. And I'm gonna give Jordan Gabriel tonight. I don't think he did anything wrong at all. I thought he played well. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. Jordan Gabriel. I think he was magic tonight. Just how I expect him to be, really. Play like that. Your thoughts on Jordan Gabriel? We'll start with Freddie.
Yeah, I'd love Jordan Gabriel. Absolutely fantastic going forwards. Offers us another attack on the pitch. An 8 from me.
An 8 from you, Phil.
Yeah, the same 8 for me. He was just up and down the whole game, wasn't he? Did his job defensively, but especially considering he's been out a few weeks, it's like he'd never been away.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. Just slotted him back in, didn't they? Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Leon, before I go on to the next one, Leon John Butterworth says, if there's one thing we need to stop doing, it's giving the ball away needlessly. Well, we didn't until that last 10 minutes, did we? Where we did seem to start giving the ball away needlessly. But what do you think about that? Do you agree with that? Maybe try not to give the ball away so needlessly. In fact, the last 6 minutes we did quite well, didn't we? We controlled the ball and ran out the 6 minutes quite comfortably, I thought. But do you agree we need to stop giving away the ball needlessly?
We have little spells where we suddenly do it for about 5 minutes on the trot, where we can't keep the ball, and then we're back to how we were. But it's obviously you can't not give the ball away ever. But it's I know what Leon's saying there. We do have these little spells where we just can't seem to keep the ball. But today we limited it to maybe a 5 minute spell, so I was okay with them today.
There was a couple of little scary moments, weren't there? There was one where I don't know who it was. He stood on the ball in the box, coming out with it, didn't he? I can't remember.
It was Embleton, because I thought so at the time. Yeah,
he stood on the ball, and that was a very dangerous moment. But we covered it, and there was the other one where we kind of tried to clear, and it kind of cannoned into our own player, and I'm thinking, what are they doing? You know what I mean? They were going through a patch here where nothing's going right. Headers, we're heading up to, giving it straight away, and there just is those shaky moments that we have. But I think when the game, when the other team is 3-1 down and they're just throwing everything at you, that it does get a little bit.
Yeah.
It gets. They were really throwing everything at, like the kitchen sink at us, weren't they? And let's face it, we held on. We didn't let them score in the second half, so we won the second half 2-0. So even though we were a little bit shaky, we can cover that sort of thing. Ollie Turton today. What's your thoughts on Ollie Turton?
I thought Ollie Turton had a fantastic game today. He played a position that he doesn't normally play a lot. He made some fantastic tackles at the back. I'm going to give Ollie Turton an 8.5.
Okay. Just going back a bit because I've missed a few. Peter Donnelly said Maxwell 6. It looks like a Maxwell 7 from Shazza Harvey. A Gabriel a 7.5 from Peter Donnelly. A Gabriel 8 from Shazza, so agrees with us. Stephen Woolley says the players can put their feet up next Tuesday. No game. Yes, that's nice. So Ollie Turton for you, Phil.
I've not been his biggest fan in the past, but as Freddie said, not in his favoured position, and he just was immense, especially against Johnson Harris, who is one of the better players in this division. He never got a sniff all night, and that was down to good defensive play.
Yeah, there was just. I'm going to give him a 7, just purely because I whatever he did with that goal that they scored at half time, it was all down to him not really bringing the ball
Thornley myself.
Oh, was it Thornley?
I thought so.
Yeah, it was Thornley. Thornley made the made the slip.
I'll let Turton off then. I'm going to give him an 8. It's Thornley. I'm going to knock a point. So, sorry, Ollie. I do apologise. I got the wrong one. So yeah, Jordan Thornley is next actually. So you already know I'm giving him a 7 because he just made that stupid mistake to really let them in, and It just it was a bad bounce and everything else. And he first of all he tried to kind of let it bounce and kick it instead of just hitting it first time, and then he tried to get an header on. He had a straight into him, didn't he? He was just a bit calamity defending. So for me, Thornley a 7, and we'll go with Phil first on that. Thornley.
I thought that's a bit harsh. I thought, because otherwise, apart from that, I thought he, again, given that he was the only recognised centre half there, he managed the defence as well as cleared everything and put some great balls in out wide, as we referred to earlier. I would have given him an 8.
Okay. What about you, Freddie? Would you give him 7 or 8?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 8 mark. I thought he had a good game. He was responsible for the slip, and obviously that's the reason I haven't given him an 8.5 that I give to Ollie Turton.
Okay, Peter Donnelly has him down as a 6.5. Shazza Harvey has him down as a 6. Oh my gosh. HCFC Brad is on saying it's a good win for us. Yes, it is, HCFC. It really is. It's a great win tonight. John Walker says, well played Blackpool tonight. Yeah, I think we all agree with you, John. It was a magnificent performance in a game that probably... Before we started, would you guys say you were confident, or would you say you were a little bit worried about this one tonight? Phil, we'll start with you. Were you like full of confidence, buzzing, looking forward to it, or did you have a little fear in your back of your mind that we'd already
I always quite fancy us against Peterborough. I always think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I always fancy us to win it because I don't think they're great defensively.
No.
So if you've got equal attacks, but our defence is better than theirs, I think we're going to win. I would have took a point probably, but 3 is. I was thinking a point's not the end of the world, but 3 points is a great result.
I think it was you on Sunday, Phil, that said Peterborough won't be coming here to park the bus, and that suits us. I think you said that, didn't you? We will be given chances round the back because they won't. They'll be coming to play football, and any team that comes to try and win the game against Blackpool and play normally go away with a tail between the legs, don't they? It's those ones that come with us, everybody behind the ball and trying to beat us on a breakaway goal. They're the ones we struggle with. But teams that come to play football, we normally do well. What about you, Freddie, on that? Were you full of confidence before kickoff, or did you have that little doubt that this was going to be a really tough game?
Yeah, I did have a bit of an anxiety tonight. Obviously, with us losing Ballard to international duty, it was really because of the back two. We didn't know who was going to come. We didn't know who was going to partner Thornley at the back. Could it be Gretterson coming in from not playing for a couple of months, or could it be somebody else? And yeah, to be honest, at the beginning of the game, I would have settled for a point. But as the game went on, and we looked really strong, I really wanted us to get 3 points in the end.
Brilliant. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I must admit, I had posted quite a bit on social media today, and I was thinking that we could win, but I had that little nervous, obviously, because I knew this was a big game, and it was I was worried that the fact that a win took us in could be weighing on the players' minds a lot, and puts that pressure on you when they know this is a chance to get in the playoffs, and is this game, in their mind a really big game? But we had nothing to worry about, really, did we? I don't know why I was worrying, to be honest, after watching that. And Seb Holt is here. Seb is here. Hi, Seb. He says that Grant Ward had a class game. So while he's mentioned that, I was going to do Kenny Doogle, but we'll go on. No, I was going to do Garbett, but Grant Ward. Do you agree with Seb? He had a class game. Was he class? I thought he was really good tonight, Grant Ward. Just never lost the ball, did he? Everything he did was tight and neat, and his passing was superb. And he, you just knew when he had the ball, he didn't give it away. I just thought he had a good game. I'm actually going to give Grant Ward an 8. I don't know what you think on Grant Ward. Start with Freddie.
Yeah, I completely agree with you and Seb. Grant Ward for me tonight has got an 8. I think Grant Ward has been a bit of like a utility man over the last few games. He's either started on the right, or he's tonight he played in the middle, and it doesn't matter where he is. He always gives 100%. And I thought tonight he had a great game.
Yeah, Phil.
Yeah, I think the position for him tonight suits him better than playing out on the right, because he can look round and get involved a lot more, and he did. Even he fell over at one point, didn't he? And he still came away with the ball.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. So just looking at that,
yeah, did really well tonight,
formation,
and I'd be giving 8.
just looking at that formation we were playing then, where would you have Grant Ward playing? Where was he playing? How did you see that team? Because I was at times I was a bit unsure as to actually what the setup was, because we had Doogle was definitely part of a 2, wasn't he? And was he a 2 with Embleton, or was he a 2 with Ward and Embleton was up?
I thought Embleton was a bit further forward and Ward was the man
Holding
alongside Doogle.
Yeah, that's what.
And then they would just play. But we're not having to play 30, 40-yard balls to isolated forwards now. We're playing through the park, and we're looking so much better for it.
Yeah, definitely. So,
yeah, I had us set up as initially 4-2-3-1 with Dougal and Ward at the back, Mitchell, Embleton, Kai, a bit further on, and then Yates up top.
Yeah. I think that's the way it was, and I think he did suit that role. And I thought it's unbelievable, isn't it? You know, we get Matty Virtue injured in that position. He just slots Ward in the same place, and he just looks like he's been there all his life.
Yeah,
it's quite. I can't believe what I'm watching at times, because you're scratching your head, aren't you? For a minute, I'm thinking before the game. Ballard's not going to be playing. How are we going to do this? Where are we going to play players? He just slots players around, brings Gabriel back into right back, puts Ward with Doogle, and they look like they played together since they were kids, don't they? Tonight they're just superb. So it's amazing. Luke Garbett, your thoughts on him tonight out of 10? We'll start with Freddie. Luke Garbett.
Luke Garbett had a great game tonight. Did really well getting forward. I love his game from set pieces, and then he got himself another goal tonight. So it's going to be a 9 from me tonight for Luke Garbett.
Wow. Okay.
That's a good call.
Well,
I wasn't going to go that high. I was going to go an 8 because he is sound defensively, but his best parts of his game is going forward, and the set pieces. We've got great delivery because of him. I think where he, I couldn't believe the free kick right in the D, and it wasn't him or Kai taking it. Mitchell steps up and puts it over the bar. I can't believe that. I thought it's crying out for Garbett. But
I've forgotten about that as a thing we should have mentioned. We maybe come back to that after. Mark Porter says, some nights everything goes for you. It did tonight, even key decisions, and we also seem to want it more than Posh on the overall performance. I didn't think everything went for us. I think there's a few things that didn't go for us. I think the goalie should have been sent off. I really do. I still think he should have been sent off. I don't think everything went for us, and Phil's convinced that neither of those penalties were a penalty anyway. So, they were just trying it on. So I don't know about that. I don't know whether everything went our way, but I agree with you that on tonight we looked like we wanted it a lot more than Peterborough looked like it. Did you think that?
I certainly agree with that. And Oxford fans said the same after that on Saturday, didn't they? That we wanted it more. I think we were just more intense, and good to see. Good to see. Long may it continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the players as well, they seem to have got a really good bond between them, and they understand each other's games. And it's something we had when we actually got promoted the last 2 times, that really good bond. And I can see it with this team also.
Yeah.
Kenny Doogle. Everybody knows he's one of my favourite players. I thought he had a decent game. I thought he didn't have I don't think he had as good. I think his game against Oxford was just magnificent. I thought he got dispossessed a couple of times. He put a few balls astray. He had a chance of a right long through ball on the breakaway, and he didn't get the pass through. But I thought he was solid, because he's always busy, isn't he, Kenny Doogle? He's always where he pops up, he's everywhere. Sometimes I'm thinking, God, how many times have I said Kenny Doogle tonight? Because he's all over the place. And I would actually give him probably an 8 tonight, Kenny Doogle. Don't know about you guys. We'll start off with Phil. Kenny Doogle.
Yeah, I'd agree with that 8. That's half the time he's playing left side of a midfield too, and then he's challenging people out on the right touchline. He's literally all over that middle of the pitch, and he gives them that base to allow the front 4 to really do what they want, and that suits those players to have that free rein to get forward. certainly Kaikai's improved by having that. I mean, he's getting back when he needs to, but he's looking so much better for having more of a free role.
Somebody's saying I'm frozen. I don't know if I am. You can see me. Can you see me waving there? Can you guys see me?
No, I think yeah, I can see you fine.
Yeah.
I'm not frozen. That's okay. BH 2211 says, here we go. This is interesting. He says it must be a Peterborough fan. He says Yates and Clark Harris must have switched bodies like Freaky Friday, where Yates is the £1 million striker and Clark Harris is the basement signing. I wouldn't be happy taking £1 million for Jerry Yates. I think he's worth more than £1 million. I really do. I think he's one of the best strikers I've seen in years at Bloomfield Road. What do you all think of a price on Jerry Yates then? Up to 16 goals or with 12 to go? What do we think?
They could have him for they could have him for 10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. The money they got for Ivan Toney. Yeah.
Yeah. I would think if people in a Premier League are sniffing at him, I hope they don't, to be honest, because it would be an absolute tragedy. I mean, we have signed him on quite a long. Did we sign him on 3 years, 4 years? I can't.
Yeah,
remember.
3 year plus an option of a year.
3 year plus an option of a year. So if you want him, show us the money in it. That's the case. And I don't think Simon Sadler is going to be like the Oystons, where he'll take anything for any player. Get rid of him the minute you get a bit of an offer in over £1 million. I think he's worth a lot of money, this Jerry Yates. I really do. And if we're getting the Championship, he's going to be worth even more, isn't he? If we do it.
Yeah, a lot of fans spoke at the beginning of the season how they wanted a 20-goal a season striker, and we've got it. Jerry Yates, step forward.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Given that he didn't score in the first 9, it's one hell of a record since then.
Yeah.
I think if memory serves me right, with his 2 goals tonight, I think he's now fifth highest goal scorer in the league.
Right.
Yeah. Just noticed a face there for you, Freddie, in the chat. Tommy Ashton is here. For anybody who doesn't know or hasn't picked up on it yet, we are doing an evening with Tommy tomorrow night, aren't we? From 8 o'clock. It's going to be great. So
yeah, it's going to be a fantastic night. I can't wait.
We won't be doing this tomorrow because obviously we've got we've got Tommy tomorrow night, so it's going to be a busy day tomorrow for us setting all that up with him. But hope lots of you tune in. It's going to be a fab night. We'll find out about Freddie, and I was saying to Jane about Tommy. Tommy was here at Blackpool in probably one of the best runs of Blackpool history, really, from 2000 to 2004, where we had a promotion at the Millennium Stadium and 2 LDV finals, which go down history as probably the best 4 years in Blackpool's recent history. Since I know we got the Premier League, but that was 3 trips to the Millennium Stadium was unbelievable times for Blackpool, and of course my dad was alive at the time, so it was a wonderful memory I have of him. So it's going to be a good night, and I'm glad to see you in the chat, Tommy. Thank you very much for coming in.
I think I said to you recently, Lee, that my first ever memory of going to Bloomfield Road, I didn't go till I was about 15. I went down with my uncle, and Tommy was playing at the back, and he had the ball. He was bursting forward. I don't know what he did with it. He could have lost it for all I know. But ever since that point, I was a huge fan of Tommy, and I look back on him with a fantastic memory, and can't wait for tomorrow night. It's gonna be great.
When we first signed him, he really was class above to what we'd had previously in that position, and that just got the momentum going for the whole for that run we had for those few years, where we just got on an upcycle again, having not been on one for a very long time.
It'll be interesting actually to see what Tommy thinks of Simo, because I think they had a really good understanding, didn't they, down that left side with him and Simo. And I know when they did the interview, if you watch this little clip of Simo interview on the Friday night show on Blackpool FC, which is fantastic, he does actually mention Tommy Yashin, doesn't he, in the players he named, Simo, the players he was playing around him, and Tommy's name comes up. So he was a class act, definitely a top class act. I'm really looking
Just to add to that, Lee, I saw a interview that was done from John Hills, and John Hills actually said that Tommy was a bit of a prankster in the dressing room. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
we're
love
going
to
to find
out
out.
what he
We're
did.
gonna find out. There's going to be some fun stories, and we're going to find them out for you tomorrow night. So I hope you all tune in and come in. And we've moved it from Thursday because of the England match, and we're going to do it on a Wednesday night. So it'll be better for everybody. Leon John Butterworth says that Jerry Yates is just getting better and better. His movement on the ball is second to none, and the first goal was superb. Yes, it was. And don't you think he's got this almost Cruyff-like turn that he's developed, which works every time. His close ball control is incredible, isn't it? You know, we've seen it, and he's not scoring the similar kind of goals. You know, when you see like a reel of the player on YouTube, and you know, before you sign them, and I was watching him on the Swindon one, you know, and I'm thinking, blooming out, look at these goals, it's Jerry Yates is scoring, you know, and then it sets off, you know, he hadn't scored for quite a few games in. But I think if you put together a reel of Jerry Yates goals at the end of this season and somebody saw it, they'd be thinking, bloody hell, because the goals, I don't think there's one goal that's alike, is there? He scores from everywhere.
It's absolutely fantastic.
There's your 10 million price reel.
He has. He's had goals across the box. He's had that, you know, this one he scored tonight when he was kind of falling over and he just rifles one in the bottom right corner. He's run the full length of the pitch, you know, away at Portsmouth, and you know, when he was almost fouled, he gets up and he goes on, he beats them all, beats 3 players, puts in the far side. Then he's at MK Dons and he skips round the goalkeeper. You know, he's got everything, hasn't he? Just from every angle, he's phenomenal. So I suppose just talk about Jerry Yates. Give him his out of 10 then tonight, because I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10 at Jerry Yates tonight. That's me for him. I thought he was just marvellous tonight. He put them under so much pressure all the time. They were struggling with him all the time, weren't they?
Yeah, I'm going to give Jerry Yates a 9.5 tonight. I thought he was fantastic. 2 goals, his work ethic, absolutely fantastic. And what's crazy to think about Jerry Yates is he was deemed not good enough from Rotherham.
Yeah. But
I'd rather have Jerry Yates than any other striker that Rotherham have got at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't he?
Yeah. I'd give him a 9 as well. He's just the great example to the rest of the team. You know, the ball's played out from the back and he's closing them down. You know, he's taking both centre halves on his own and closing them both down. He's unbelievable. And then still has the energy to get up and belt the ball in from way out. Well, that was first minute.
It's just quality, and he is quality. Yeah. He's an absolute quality striker, and you don't score goals like that if you're not quality. Simple as that. You don't get goals like that. Anybody can score.
I can't wait to be back in Bloomfield Row singing Jerry Yates, Blackpool's number 9.
Yeah,
yeah. No, neither can I. I can't wait either. So moving on, the players. Dimitri Mitchell tonight. I thought he had a good game, and I'm just going to say that I'm going to give him an 8, and we'll go to Freddy for Dimitri Mitchell.
Yeah, I agree with you. An 8. I love the way that Mitchell gets the ball, gets forward, drives forward. Does it every single game. I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the one thing he needs to improve sometimes is the final decision making, especially in that first half. We were getting into some great positions and not quite finding the ball through. But second half, he improved and we kept the ball a lot better. And he played a big part in that.
But I've forgotten one thing. Why did he take that free kick? Should be knocking down half a point for that stupid free kick. Because to be honest with you, why Dimitri Mitchell was taking it, I have no idea. When we've got Kai, as you say, and Garbett on the pitch, we've both been taking fantastic deliveries at Oxford and everything else. So it was theirs to take, wasn't it? It was in a great position. I mean, it was close to being a penalty. It wasn't a penalty. It was outside the box. It was in the D, but it was in the D. The referee marched him back 10 paces, put his white thing on the back. They were back, and there was definitely shooting room there to try and put something through, and to put it where he did from where he was such a disappointment.
It's that I made the run. I got fouled. I'm having the free kick.
Yeah, he shouldn't have taken it, should he?
I forgot about that free kick, so I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 10.
Knock him down. I might knock him down to a 7.5. Sorry, Dimitri, but do not take any more free kicks for Blackpool. Thank you very much. We've got
Ever again.
Kai and Garbett, and we're happy with them, aren't we? So the last one really that we haven't touched upon is Sully Kai. Go on, I'll start with Phil. Sully Kai out of 10 tonight.
I don't think he ran the game the same way that he did at Oxford, but
No.
he's still he's back. He's got his mojo back. He's back in the groove, and that's always a good thing. Like even the goal, the first goal, he lost the ball out on the left, but all of a sudden he wins it back and plays a great ball through, and Jerry scores. So
that's twice he's put Jerry through, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd give him a solid 8 again.
Yeah. Just that slip, wasn't it? Just let him down, that slip in the box. But I don't know how that happened, but that was a real good chance. I just wish he'd have got that goal. But I think he had parts in just about everything we did, really, didn't he? You know, all the attacking moves, something came through Kai around Kai. And I just think he's a very big player for Blackpool. And if he can just keep playing in form, I think we've got a great chance. I think he's one of the big keys to what's going to happen to Blackpool this year. He's a player. He's one of those players that, you know, if you sold him and and the other team and he came back to Bloomfield Road, you'd be thinking, oh my God, how do we have this guy? You know, he's coming back. He's going to do something against us, because he is an exciting player. I think he is. Yeah, I'm going to give Kai an 8 tonight. About an 8. Freddie, Kai.
It's great to see that his twin brother's not back, because he's bloody useless. But no, I thought Kai had a fantastic game tonight. Set a goal up really well for Jerry Yates. Peterborough players couldn't deal with him. They had to swap players to try and mark him. He did quite enough a bit in the second half, but based on his first half appearance, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10.
Okay, I've just seen a comment here from Bradley Jones. Says, I'm a Bury fan. What do you think about the situation that happened there? Keep up the good work. I've subscribed. Thank you very much. Well, my answer to you, Bradley Jones, is I think it's an absolute disgrace what happened to Bury, and the fact that Bolton didn't get anything like the punishment that you got. And Blackpool fans, the Blackpool Supporters Trust have been over to Bury quite a few times, stand in your corner, and I think every football fan in the country, genuine football fan, would say it was a disgrace what happened to Bury, and I'm just so sorry for you, to be honest. And I just hate rogue owners that do this to fans, because fans are everything. You know, without fans, there's no football, and the only people that the EFL and everybody punish at these times are the fans. They lose out, don't they? And all I can say to you is, if I was in the same position and Blackpool were going out of the league and we had to come back through non-league, I would just look at it as one fantastic adventure, because you're gonna have an amazing time coming back like FC Wimbledon, and you will come back and you'll be playing teams that are just like pub and duck, and you'll be winning everything by a mile. You'll have thousands going to these little away grounds, and they're all in little picturesque places that you won't believe where you're going to. They're off the beaten track, they're in the countryside, they're gorgeous, there's a lovely friendly atmosphere wherever you go, and just enjoy the ride back, because you will be back. And that's all I want to say to Bury. I don't know about you two guys. What do you think of the Bury?
Yeah, I just want to add that I feel so sorry for Bury. They had an owner who didn't pay his players, if I'm led to believe. But then if you look at, from the FA, they didn't punish Bolton. They gave Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship a 10-point deduction, changed it to 5. And they just seem to be a bit all over the place for me. I don't really know what's going on with them, to be fair.
No.
Yeah, after all the trouble we had from an ownership point, obviously we can completely empathise with everything you've gone through. We were lucky in that we got away with it and got in the dream owner, a real fan.
We suffered for it.
Hopefully, Bury can do something on those lines.
We suffered, though. We might have been lucky in the end, but we went through 5 years of hell, didn't we, really, as fans? It was not nice. And 5 years is a long time to not be going with your children and all the rest of it, and missing out on dad-son things. And it's something that I can never get back. My Sebby's now 17, and I missed all them years from 9 to 14, which would have been magical times, for a dad and son to go to football. But yeah, we finally got them out, didn't we? And we had a bit of luck with Bellicon. But
yeah. I mean, what the point I'm making is, I suppose, it turned round for us, and I'm sure it'll turn round for Bury, and onwards and upwards.
Okay. Ollie Boy is here. He's a Sunderland fan. He's saying, I'm a Sunderland fan. A good job on helping us in the promotion fight. Well, you got us to play so, twice. So don't be praising us too much because we're getting into form. So you got us to beat. Yeah, we did beat Peterborough, but you might have preferred Peterborough beating Blackpool at the moment, to be honest. I know you're all happy over in Sunderland. You're all cheering us on, but it might come back to bite you.
I can see 2 victories for Blackpool when we play Sunderland, but I've also said that I think that Sunderland, if you can maintain your run, I do think you'll finish top 2 this season.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping for. I would like Sunderland and Blackpool to be the 2 teams to go up. If I'm being honest, because I have a little soft spot for Sunderland after watching Sunderland till I die. It's just it just gives you a little soft spot for them because it was very well done. I don't know if you 2 guys have watched it, but it's. It centers a lot on the fans and the community of Sunderland, the taxi driver, they go into the church on a Sunday in your Sunderland scarves and the whole thing that means so much to Sunderland itself. And I do have a little soft spot, but I still want to beat Sunderland obviously when we play them.
I got chased out of Roker Park in 1974. I'm not forgiven.
You've never I think Roker Park was a bit of a scary place to go, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Well, it was the last day of the season.
It seems so friendly when you watch him on that Sunderland till I die. They're like the most friendly people in the world. People in the north.
It's gone to the new ground. We've had great days out, but Roker Park was different.
The lovely people, aren't they? The people from the northeast. I've always found them to be very friendly and very nice, and just like salt of the earth people, a bit like we are in the north. In the north, we're friendly over here as well, aren't we? So I have a soft spot. I think that's all the players. Well, the man of the match. Who's your man of the match, Freddie?
Today I'm going to say Jerry Yates. I think he had a fantastic game. 2 goals. Really impressed me. Great game.
Yeah, I was going for Jerry Yates as well.
Ditto. Full set. Full set. He's got to be Jerry Yates. It's a complete performance, hasn't it? Your centre forward scores twice and works as hard as he does for 90 minutes. He's got to be man of the match.
Yeah, he's won us the game, man, at the end of the day.
Definitely.
See if there's any last comments we can take before we get off. Danny Smith says we've got games in hand. We still have games in hand. We do. We're sort of right. We're in a good position, aren't we? We're finally in the position that we've been talking that we should be in for months, haven't we? We've had so many games in hand, so many games called off, and we've never been able to get out of the mid-table. We've had Fleetwood jumping over us and all that sort of stuff. But I think Fleetwood are long gone now, and I think we're just concentrating on can we cement. First of all, can we cement our? Well, I'm going to ask you both of you first. Do you think we will cement our place in the playoffs?
Looking at the fixtures we've got left this season, I strongly believe we'll finish in the top 6 this season. I don't know about the top 2. It'd be nice if we could possibly go for the top 2 still. But if we could finish top 6 and go up via the playoffs. And would it be amazing if the first game back this season was the game at Wembley? Yeah,
because it's they have talked about that as being a limited crowd, haven't they?
It'd be fantastic for my vlogging, wouldn't it? If I could do a Wembley at the end of this season. But there's something about the playoffs. Every Blackpool fan knows that we are the best team in the country at playoffs. It's what we've got since the playoffs started. We've only been promoted through the playoffs, haven't we? We haven't done an automatic anywhere else. I don't think since the inception of playoffs. We've gone up through every division to a playoff final. So we're pretty much experts at it. Unlike our friends down the road who are.
We'll go with the championship next season.
Yeah. Confident.
So we get up this season, we're back in the Premier League. Is that what you're saying, Freddie? You're that confident?
Yeah, and a couple of years we'll win the Champions League too.
Promotion. It has been done. Yeah. It has been done. Double promotions have been done as well. Danny Smith says keep Sunderland down where they are. He says they deserve to be down there. So there's no
I love lost there.
There's no love from Danny. Peter Donnelly's got Yates at man of the match. So I think we'll leave it on there unless there's anything else you want to touch on the game. Is there anything I haven't covered? Phil, anything I haven't covered for you? Or
No, I think it's good to get back to winning ways at home, and the fact it was against Peterborough is a double whammy, really. Excellent result, and back into the top 6. Let's keep there.
Before we go, then I suppose I'll just briefly touch because we're obviously not going to do a preview show, but we've got Plymouth on Saturday. We owe them one, as far as I'm concerned, because how they got 3 points at Plymouth in the first game of the season, I'll never know. I'll just never know. We made that ridiculous sort of back passy thing that gave them a corner. I don't know. He kind of hit it forward. It went over his head and backwards. I don't know how it happened, but they managed to get a corner and we fell asleep and they nodded it in. And then it was just, from then on, it was 84 minutes of Blackpool trying everything. They had a young keeper that made his debut and he played like the best keeper in the world for me. He was unbelievable. We couldn't get the ball past him. And just on our day, the ball just wouldn't go in, and they got a very lucky 3 points off us in a game I thought we should have won. So I'm bursting to play Plymouth, and I want to beat them just for that game. I don't know about you. What do you think about playing Plymouth on Saturday at Bloomfield Road after tonight as well?
I think taking I think it was a 1-1 result last time we played them.
At home.
Yeah, I think it was at 1-1.
Yeah.
Oh, it might have been with that stupid bell. They have that stupid bell as well, don't they? They have that bloody bell that drives me.
Yeah, just I think if we got the draw against them,
Pompey, that was the bell. Pompey had the bell. Pompey changed it.
Yeah, Pompey's got the bell. Yeah, no, I think if we took a draw on early in the season when the team was still gelling and learning each other's game, there's no reason why we can't go and take 3 points off them. It will be nice to see Ryan Hardy. I think Ryan Hardy's going to make his his appearance at Blackpool, as long as he's not on the winning team, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be playing more.
Has he been playing much recently? I saw he was on the highlights at the weekend, but I don't know if he'd come on as sub.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be fair.
Like a weapon, isn't he? But there's no fans there anyway, so he won't have any of that to like give it to us because there's nobody there, is there? So it might be okay. I think sometimes when there's no fans there, they're not pumped up to kind of put it past it because there's nobody there to. Josh Graves thinks if Peter Donner said Portsmouth have the bell. Yeah, they do. I think if we don't go up this season, Jerry Yates, someone's going to come and get him. Some people are going to be after him. Well, there is that fear, isn't there? There definitely is that fear. I mean,
yeah, we don't need to sell. We don't need to sell. Hopefully, we won't get rid of him.
And no, exactly. I think under Simon, I think we're in a far better place to not sell. We're building a squad, not getting rid of key players.
Yeah, exactly. I think under the Oystons, we'd have probably sold him for a tenner, but no, under Sadler, we'll keep him. There's no reason to sell, as I say.
No. So I think at the end of the day, conclusion is Blackpool have just played 2 amazing games of football with a sort of put together team with lots of injuries, and we've passed the test that we can win games without our key players in. Hopefully key players will be back. It's going to be an exciting run-in. It's going to be a hard April. By the end of April, we're really going to know what the chances are, whether we're going to be playoffs or whether we're going to go up automatic. The points are there. I've done a points tally, and I think if we win every game from now in, we've got a maximum 93. We can get to 93 points.
No, fingers crossed, though.
We may have to do a perfect 14, will it be? Perfect 14 to get automatic. So that's maybe a little bit, but you never know.
We've already ticked 2 off, haven't we? So you never know.
Riley Taylor, Chelsea FC fan, has just subbed. Thank you very much, Riley Taylor, Chelsea FC fan. Thank you very much. We're trying to get past Cod's vlogs as well. I've been mentioning tonight. We're on 3,100. He's on 6,100. He only supports Little Fleetwood, and we're big Blackpool, so we've got to get past him with 6,000 subscribers.
Get the word out.
That would be good. Jake Fitzpatrick said, "Could Blackpool get promoted?" Yes, of course they could.
There's no cut about it. We are going to get promoted.
Hey, JJ says we were linked with Yates, Mitchell, and Garbett. You got all 3. Was the salary cap the cause? Where are you from, JJ? I don't know which team you're from, but I didn't know that somebody else was in those 3 players. But if we did pip you to the post, it's because we've finally got good owners that actually did their business early this season, didn't they? The summer transfer was a statement of intent, I thought, where we got the business done straight away. We didn't mess about, did we?
No,
which isn't something we're not used to as Blackpool fans, are we?
No, we're usually 3 games into the season and we're still getting players in.
I remember being at a pre-season friendly when Sky were there, and we were in the Armfield stand, and there was a Sky presenter there, and he had a team sheet, and the whole team sheet said a trialist. Every number was a trialist all the way down.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they went over to him on Sky Sports and said, "Well, who's playing today?" He said, "I can't tell you because every name on the street team sheet is a trialist." And there was a guy sat about, I don't know, a few rows away from me, and he kept shouting out all the time. He says, "Go on, trialist!" He kept shouting out. That's how bad it was at one time. He's a Sunderland fan. So,
I was watching the highlights as well, Lee, at the 2010 season where we're in the Premier League yesterday, and we didn't actually have a full team ready for the Wigan game. I think we signed a few players just a day or two before.
Yeah,
and it just shows how much we've come on since.
Oh,
Marlon Harewood arrived in that week, didn't he? And then,
we got who came in that week. There was obviously
Elliot Grandin, Lidl Silvestre, Marlon Harewood.
Yeah, they all just came
last
in
minute stuff, wasn't it?
Everything was last minute, wasn't it? You know, the East Stand that they were putting up was a real race against time, because I was down every day watching them build it. I was down at the ground every day. I went to have my lunch down there. I used to watch them doing the whole of the East.
That's why we were at Wigan, wasn't it? They switched the fixture.
Because it wasn't ready. It just wasn't ready. And
I
remember for the next home game, they had to have a temporary floodlight on a tractor. You know, they had it up. It was like a temporary one. They didn't even have floodlights up, did they?
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
First two home games. Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah, we signed Sylvester and Grandon the day before. Yeah, we did. Callum Coyle says, "Yo, Lee, we are going up." And on that, I think we'll leave it at that, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks a lot for staying on after. I know we're all pumped. We're all excited. I don't want you. I could talk about it all night, to be honest with you. I'm excited about it.
I'm ready for bed. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, you're exhausted. No, I get all pumped up about Blackpool. Honestly, I do. I have to wind down. It's great to talk to people, but if you've just come into the stream, you don't know, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, we have got Tommy Yashin in as a guest, an evening with. You can come and join in. He's live, so you can ask him questions. We'll be doing the England watch along as well on Thursday and Sunday as well. So I've got a very busy week this week. Thanks a lot to Phil, and thanks a lot to Freddie. You've done a fantastic job, Freddie.
Yeah, pleasure as always. Thank you.
Freddie, your headset's fantastic. A big improvement on everything. We can hear you. It looks good. You've got it cracked.
Yay.
It looks good. All the background, everything looks good. Phil, you look great, and it's always nice to have the Yorkshire Seasiders with us.
We're planning our Wembley coach. Don't you worry about it.
I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Good night. Take care.